Alright, next step here is to carve the guitar neck. I'm just going to use two basic tools. One is a curved spoke shave, the other is a flat spoke shave, and then this is a file, a diamond file from Stu Mac. These files are outstanding. And what I'll do is I'll just use these tools to file this neck down. You can use a profile gauge here if you want, but I like carving this by hand, so now that it's fretted, you know, whatever I do here, I'll be able to feel. So I drew kind of the profile out here first of where this is going to sit. What I'll do is just start carving. Here I'm taking the spoke shave and I'm just going back and forth. I got the profile here right. So this is still slightly thick as I'm feeling around on it. It's definitely got a thicker baseball bat feel. I need to take probably not that much from up here. It actually feels pretty good here. But as I get further down the neck, I gotta take more of the sides off here. So when I compare these two necks together, you know, this is a standard thin, which is actually too thin. You can see there's a lot more taken off on the sides here, and that's what I'll focus on next, is the going back and forth to pull the side down. Next thing I'm going to do here is take my caliper and kind of figure out where the low spots are and mark them with a pencil. Well, no, I got a low spot at about 5 and 9 from my measuring, and I'm slightly high here. So I'm going to pull some of this down because I can see, you know, probably about a 1/16 high right in through here. So I'll start from here and pull down, and then on the top here I'm looking pretty good. That's pretty tight. So use my calipers to just kind of measure out that it's high right about here. and then we'll take this to the sander once I finish carving. I took the spoke shave and I cleaned up the low spots. I double checked it. What I want to do is take the sander and I want to use a flat piece here. Make sure I get all the scratches out. Make sure it's looking good. You don't want to take an orbital sander to the neck because it'll just make a mess. It'll dig in. You want to use finished sanders on a neck. Really cause yourself a lot of problems if you take an orbital to the neck. Next here, after the sanding, we're going to take this handy template that I've got and mark where I need to drill out the neck holes. I'll take this to the drill press and drill these out. Last thing we're going to do here after all that sanding is take some naphtha and just clean up the neck so you can see the beautiful figure. And as I figure out what finish I put on it, you can see the figure all over this guitar neck. It is just gorgeous. So we'll clean off the fretboard here. You can see how the nice dark walnut inlays here are going to just turn black essentially in comparison to the maple. They'll look like standard black dots, but they'll be maple. So we'll go through and clean this up here. Not a real huge fan of the 1/8 inch dots, but I wanted to stick with all wood. I don't know why, but I did. So we'll go through, just clean this up. Alright, here we are with the antique oil. I've got my neck on a holding beam. We're going to put one full coat on here today. Almost perfect color. Nice deep yellow. Exactly what I was looking for from my testing. Alright, here's coat 2. I've put on 2 more coats already, so I've got 4 coats in total. What I'm going to do is just steel wool the back side here and put 1 more coat on. I'm not going to do this to the front because I definitely don't want to scratch the frets up. On the back here I can clean this up. Alright, here's the 5th and last coat. Goes on real thin now. Wood's already soaked in most of the finish. It's just to smooth everything out before I put a little coat of wax on. Alright, I finally picked out what tuners I want to use on this. Now that the neck is somewhat dry, before I put a coat of wax on this, what I want to do is drill for the tuners. And all you do is you get your tuners lined up. You just push down and you'll get a little bit of an indentation. And I'll take my scorer and just push down where that line is. Come back with my drill that's got a 16th bit in here and just drill down slightly. That way I've got this lined up, and as I screw this down, it'll pull this down and hold it tight. So I'll go through and mark all of these here and drill. Alright, last step here is to actually add a coat of wax. This is just one more way to protect the guitar neck. I'm going to use this brie wax here. I'm going to just take this little rag and wipe down the bits and the pieces, and then take this buff. You can get this buff at Ace Hardware, and just buff out the wax and get a real nice sheen on the guitar neck here. So here's the neck all done and finished. Buffed it up with this buff, and now it's all ready to be put on a guitar body and go. The figuring and flame is outstanding. It was finished properly with the antique oil. Then putting that extra seal coat of wax really brought out the depth and the grain. Really happy with the way this turned out. Only adjustment I have to do is on the nut when I get this set up to a guitar body. So looking really good, and see you guys in the next video.